Thank you, Larry, and thank you all for being out here today. It's a beautiful day, and it's a very important cause. Uh, Part of the reason we're here today is because of the failure of the media to do their job. Last year, Accuracy in Media held a conference called Obama Nation, A Day of Truth, and Democratic pollster Pat Caddell was there, and he said words that resonated across the country. He said, the media have become the enemy of the American people.
I think that's right.
And I think that's more true today.
Sad, but it's right.
It's sad, but it's right. And he was referring that day to Benghazi, which had just happened less than 2 weeks before that. And if he only knew what was coming, but it could have really been about any number of scandals that the media have largely tried to pretend are either phony scandals or don't exist at all as far as they're concerned. We're talking Solyndra, we're talking Operation Fast and Furious, we're talking the IRS scandal, and criminalizing investigative journalism. There's any number of these things. And it's really to what's come today, where lying under oath before Congress and now lying to the American people, saying that if you want to keep your health care, you want to keep your doctors, you can keep them, period. Well, we know what a lie that turned out to be. Or according to the New York Times, it was just an error. Anyway, one thing about the media today, I mean, in a way, this is the best of times and the worst of times, because we as conservatives, we finally have places where we can have our voices heard, between talk radio, the internet, Fox News. And there are some other hopeful signs. Recently we've seen David Sanger of the New York Times and Leonard Downey of the Washington Post compare this administration to Nixon and talk about how they're trying to control information and call him a control freak. And quite a number of the members of the media seem to have lost a little of that thrill up their leg, if you know the reference. Chris Matthews, of course. But I want to come back to Benghazi, because that's something that has been very important to us. I view that as a scandal in 4 parts. Part 1 was what happened in advance of September 11th of 2012. There had been pleas by Ambassador Chris Stevens to beef up the security. Instead of beefing it up, they pulled back on the security. And he was saying it was an intolerable situation. We had the security was a group, unarmed people, and the other one was the February 17th Martyrs Brigade, which basically were Al-Qaeda people who were there. And you know how that turned out. On the day of September 11th, what happened was the failure to come to rescue these people while they were under attack. And what reasons did they give? Panetta said, we didn't have enough time. Dempsey said, we didn't have enough time. They said, you don't go in when you don't have good enough intelligence, so you don't send your troops in. So we reached out to a number of military people. The other scandals are what happened the day after, when they began this story, the cover-up, and talking about this anti-Islam video being the cause of this attack. And we know that's not true, and they sent out Susan Rice 5 days later on all the talk shows. The 4th one, as I see it, is the media. Here we were 2 months before a presidential election, and they pretended that there was nothing to talk about, nothing to see here. Well, as we've watched this progress, and Congress hold numerous hearings, and the Accountability Review Board, the so-called Independent Accountability Review Board, took a look, and it was really a whitewash. So we had aimed contacted several people, including the next speaker after me, retired Admiral James Lyons. We've talked to a number of generals. I urge you to go look at the website, aim.org/Benghazi, and see what we have. There's a lot of material up there. And we are working. Our position was the same one that Obama often says. We're not going to wait for Congress. There is a House Resolution 36 by Frank Wolf calling for a Watergate-style select committee. So far there's 178 co-sponsors of that, but there appears to be resistance at the highest levels. Boehner, there's serious questions about why they will not allow that to happen, because what you're left with when it's the other committees, you have these 5-minute Q&As where 3 minutes are taken up by long-winded answers and you never really get anywhere. And so we are here, we're fighting to get the answers, and like Field of Dreams, we have built it. People have started coming to us, giving us information, and it's we're finding out some remarkable things that we're not really quite ready to come public with yet. But this has really been a scandal-plagued administration, and the work Larry Klayman is doing here to bring this to the attention of the American people, to try to do something about it, I commend him, and I thank you.
Thank you.